Rutherford in the long jump. 10.27 in a 100 metres earlier on today. He really is in sparkling form. Terrific lift off that board. Now then, what's he done? Lovely little hitch kick technique in the air. Very simple. He avoids the rotation in the air. Good landing. 7 metres and 42. It looked a little better than that, I must admit. Second round of the long jump there. This Novki.
Well, it does look good on the board. Perfect judgment there, Stuart. And they've got a tailwind here of these long jumpers. He is selected for the Commonwealth Games, the Australian Novki. But 7.42 from Greg Rutherford, a very, very modest opener, considering he sprinted so well an hour or so ago to a huge new personal best. 7.61 in the second round for Novki.
Well, the next event on the track, the men's 100 metres, Jacob Groth of Australia drawn in lane 1, then Mark Lewis Francis in 2, Aaron Rouge-Serrette of Australia in 3, and Ryan Scott of England in lane 4. This time, and actually Rouge-Serrette got away well. It's on the near side, Scott going well. Here goes Mark Lewis Francis, then is starting to make way now. And look at this, Lewis Francis gets away at the end. Rouge-Serrette at 10.12 plus 3.5 metres per second, so that was a very convincing win over 100 metres for Mark Lewis Francis.
Mark now to pick up from 30 to 50, very, very strong indeed, and he eases away to win by what? A couple of metres. Very, very impressive run. 10.12. It's a shame the wind speed was so strong, plus 3.5, because I think he'd have come up with a pretty useful time if it had been legal.
There it is, Mark Lewis Francis, 10.12. Good run. Rouge-Serrette, 10.30. Scott, 10.41. And Groth, 10.59.
People in Newcastle, man, wow. It's the first time I've been up here, competed on the streets, and it's an amazing crowd, amazing atmosphere. I'm just over the moon I was invited.
Luke Cutts then of England. With surprise victory here. This replay of his winning vault at 5 metres 20. It was a strange competition considering the calibre of Steve Lewis and Steve Hooker. Cutts clearing 5 metres 20, one of only 2 clearances in the entire competition from the 4 competitors, but it was a surprise winning point for England.
Well, there's the result of the pole vault. Luke Cutts of England winning with 5 metres and 20, giving England the maximum 1 point there. Steve Lewis in second at 5.20, with Steve Hooker no heighting again.
Well, here is Greg Rutherford in the long jump in action on the far side of the river, the northern side of the Tyne. He opened with a very modest 7.42, did Rutherford. That looks better. That looked like a better effort. Certainly there's no doubting the quality of his speed. He's jumped 8.10 this year, 8 metres 10. He doesn't look delighted with it. His lifetime best, remember, is 8.30. He does hold the British record outdoors, 7.78. And he takes the lead with that third round effort.
Well, the final round of the long jump now, and Chris Novka of Australia. 7.78 to beat. I'm just wondering whether that was a red flag coming up. He looked very close to the ball. I think it was a red flag from where we're sitting. And I'll have to wait to see them again in the Commonwealth Games. Nice little simple technique, almost a hang technique in the middle. Most of the men would use hitch kick. But we'll see what he's done. 7.90. Wow, he's taken it. He's won it on 7.90 in the 4th round. Let's bring you up to date with all of that. Novka's 7.90, Greg Rutherford 7.78, Jagedi of England 7.49, and Fletcher of Australia 7.24. So the full 1 point to Australia. And we're going next to the women's 150 metre race on the quayside, and there it is. Montel Douglas of England in 1, Jodie Henry, Australia in 2, Laura Turner, England in 3, and Sally Pearson of Australia in lane 4. A difficult race to manage, and Pearson's gone off very strongly on the near side, and she is absolutely flying at the moment. And Pearson is, well, she's about 1.5 meters, 2 meters ahead of Laura Turner, and this is going to be a second victory indeed for the Australian. What a good athlete she is. Terrific win by Pearson over Turner. 16.86. That is pretty classy too.
She was way ahead after 15-20 metres, and Laura losing by a couple of metres there. And in fact, Montel Douglas run back into 4th place, I think, for England. But Australia take another point and lead the match now 4-3.
Good run. Sally Pearson's second win of the day, 16.80, very respectable. Laura Turner in second, Jodie Henry in third, and Montel Douglas in 4th place.
Well, there's the lineup for the next event on the track, the men's 150 metres. Ryan Pierre for England, Patrick Johnson of Australia, Marlon Devonish of England, who won here last year, and Isa Tiamoa of Australia completes the lineup. This is a crucial race for England because the Australians lead 4-3 in this 9-event match. If Australia were to win this one, then they would wrap up the match. Of these 4 athletes, only Ryan Pierre will not go to Delhi. But that British best by Marlon Devonish, 14.88, is pretty impressive, has to be respected. The world best, incidentally, was set in Manchester in May last year by one Usain Bolt, 14.35, mighty fast running, of course. But this one, for England, absolutely critical. Well, away they go. Marlon Devonish, very much the favourite here, and he leads now as they get into their running. Halfway stage, Devonish leading by a couple of metres from Tiamoa on the near side. Devonish is going to take the win here for England. It's going to be 4-4 after this one. That's a great run from Marlon Devonish. Watch the clock, 14.88. Can you believe, if that's confirmed with a very slight following in, it's identical to his winning time last year and the European best set exactly 12 months ago.
Yeah, he went away very, very well in the early stages. The most impressive period for me was in 2007 when he made the World Championship 100-metre final. Before that, he was always the 200-metre specialist, but since then he's become very much 100, 200-metre man, perhaps more over 100 metres, and that is evidence indeed.
What a lovely backdrop there for this result caption, giving Marlon Devonish 14.8 for the victory, and England 1 critical point. Isa Tiamoa in second, Pierre Johnson up the rear.
I love this 50-metre straight. Really enjoy it. I think it's a great idea, and I really get good performances, probably half the reason, but yeah, I enjoy this kind of competition. Should be more of it.
In terms of the time, 14.88, legal plus 0.2. You must be delighted with that.
Oh, I think that's the fastest ever on any British man, so I've got to be pleased with that. It's not the best conditions, although the crowd definitely spurred me on, so very happy with that, extremely happy.
Well, there's the scoreboard at 4-all, which takes us into the final event on the track, the men's 110-metre hurdles, and it features England's captain, Andy Turner. There it is, Alameen of England drawn in lane 1. Greg Ayres of Australia in 2, then Andy Turner in 3, and Daniel Small of Australia in lane 4. A real opportunity for the England captain to prevail here. But Andy Turner has got such strength. He won the Manchester City Games high hurdles and 200-metre hurdles on the straight track, setting a world best for those 200-metre hurdles, 22.30. He's got terrific speed endurance, strength endurance too, and his technique is good. There's 10 barriers at 3 feet 6. 4-all, the final event. Whoever wins this wins the match. Alameen, Ayres, Turner and Small, the 110 metres hurdles. No problem with the start at all. Turner already ahead of this field and running away from them as well. On the far side, Ayres going very well, but Turner, the England captain, is absolutely flying, as one would expect, as he comes into the finish at 13. Well, the clock didn't stop, but that's going to be about 13.5, I would think. But England win the match on that, and it's fitting that the captain should win it for them. Fine demonstration of high hurdling. Ayres of Australia was going very strongly early on, but Turner once again completes a season. Well, it's not really completed, because he now finds himself favourite for the Commonwealth gold as well as the European gold that he's already achieved. So a lot of pressure then when he goes to Delhi, but a good win, and a very impressive win too.
Well, a strange kind of inverse symmetry, Stuart, really, in the parts of the two captains on this day. Steve Hooker, the Olympic and world champion, no heighting in the pole vault, which he would have been expected to win. The Australian should have gone into this race, frankly, a 5-3 ahead with an unassailable lead. But Andy Turner there, the England captain, confirming the victory for Great Britain, making it 5-4. It was only 4-4 going into that one. I say only from an Australian perspective. But Andy Turner running with newfound confidence, and this just a year or so after there was a lot of column inches written in the UK media about his funding having been cut by the federation, and he was really struggling to maintain the lifestyle of a full-time athlete with a wife and children's support. But he's European champion now, wins here today, and the Commonwealth title beckons, with a lot of the big names from Jamaica, for example, having pulled out of Delhi. So it's things looking really, really good for Andy at the moment. Yeah,
he really attacks the hurdle. He comes off it very quickly. His trail leg is quick. When you get down to the ground, he reacts to the hurdle so strongly, but he's got good sprinting speed as well, as we've seen in the past over the 200-metre hurdles as well. He wins this very, very comfortably indeed from a years of Australia. Another look at him here. Eyes come up early because he's got to identify the hurdle, but look at the way he's attacking. He's so quick. His shoulders remaining on the same level all the way down. That's good technique. He's staying roughly down the centre, just clipping them. It doesn't matter clipping them. With the trail leg, it's the lead leg you've got a problem with, but this man doesn't do that, and it's a fine win, and there's the evidence. Andy Turner, 13.40, Gregor Years, 13.88, and Alex Alamine of England, 14.25. So that means that England have won the match, 5-4.
It didn't feel like a very good technical race, so I didn't think it'd be very quick, so I was like, okay, just happy to take the victory. I've just seen 13.40, so I should have run a bit harder. You know, maybe I had run a turn quicker. Who knows? But happy to win. It's all about team victory today, so I'm well pleased with that.
So yet again, England come out on top in the Athletic Ashes. A delighted team captain Andy Turner receiving the trophy on behalf of his teammates. Next up for us is the Great South Run from Portsmouth. And don't forget to keep up to date with all things Great Run related on our website, greatrun.org. From the banks of the River Tyne in the northeast of England, it's goodbye for now.